Hello, everybody. Welcome to Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden first look here on Roll20. I am super duper excited to be here. A little bit nervous since I don't know if I've ever actually streamed with just myself talking for like 2 hours, but it's going to be a really good time. I am so excited you all are here. Welcome. I'm really excited to get frosty. It's really hot where I am, so reading all the stuff about Icewind Dale has been an absolute joy for me. But I guess I should introduce who I am. Hey, everybody out there. My name is Celeste Conowitch. I am a streamer, podcaster. You can usually find me right here on Roll20 running the Burn Bright Burning Daylight campaign, which actually just wrapped up. But today I'm not talking about science fantasy. Today I am talking about Dungeons & Dragons, and more specifically my other life as a designer for Dungeons & Dragons. So for those of you who don't know, I was one of the authors for Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, so I am really, really excited to be doing this first look, since obviously this book is pretty near and dear to my heart since I spent so much time working on it. So yeah, I am basically how this is gonna go. I'm gonna go through some information. I'm gonna show you some really cool art pieces from this book. We're gonna look at all of the wonderful assets that Roll20 has put together, tokens and maps, everything, and just really start talking about what you can expect if you are running Icewind Dale, what this brand new campaign book from Wizards of the Coast, all the goodies that are in there. So I will say this is going to be pretty spoiler heavy. So if you out there are planning to play in this game and you are the type of people who want no spoilers whatsoever from your campaigns or stories, this may not be the stream for you. But if you are planning to run it, or if you don't care so much about spoilers, I promise I won't give away the big campaign secrets, but I am going to talk a lot about the initial chapters, the structure of the book, the new monsters, new items, all that kind of good stuff. So if you don't hate the spoilers, turn back now, everybody. Also, we have a wonderful crew modding for today. I'm going to keep my eyes on the chat, so if you all have any questions you want to throw at me, I'm going to do my best to see those and to answer those, so please just throw those up in the chat with big question marks. And yeah, well, I hope you all are ready to dive into this fantastic book. I certainly am, so let's get this started. Okay, so right here we are, Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Right on this first page here, we are looking at the standard cover for the book, which depicts Oriel, who is a goddess of winter's vengeance, winter's wrath. And what's really cool about her is that she has multiple forms that she appears in. And this form right here that we see on the cover is one of the scarier forms from this book. So already, I think you all can probably tell some of the themes that we're going to see in this book here. Lots of blue, lots of ice, lots of scary things. I mean, there's a dead guy on the ground. Look at that guy. That could be your players. So, it's just jumping right in to the doom you might experience over the course of this setting here. Yes, Justice, in chat there. I was also pronouncing it Aurel, but it is in fact Oriel, which is great because they have a nice pronunciation guide in this book, which is something that is super duper helpful. So Oriel, the Frostmaiden. Oh, real. Yep, everybody in the chat, we got it. We'll learn it together. Spoiler, goats, Ashley Warren. Yep, there are a lot of goats in this book. But let's get into it. So first off, I wanted to talk a little bit about Icewind Dale. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Icewind Dale, it has a pretty storied history in the world, the lore of Dungeons & Dragons. Icewind Dale is, of course, still on the Sword Coast. It's sort of northeast up there, and then it's surrounded by mountains. So it's really a departure from the other campaigns we've seen so far. It's a totally enclosed setting that's obviously has some Arctic stuff going on. It is a trapped space, a trapped dale that is is full of snow and ice. So really, just to start things off, I want to just go ahead and like look at some of the awesome stuff we're going to see in terms of art to really kind of paint the setting of Icewind Dale. So as you can see here, so I am in a Roll20 campaign. So for those of you who are new to Roll20, I'll go ahead and try and explain what I'm doing. So this screen right here, this looks exactly like what you would buy if you bought the Roll20 Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign on Roll20. So just right off the bat, I mean, look at this. Look how much stuff is included here. I was shocked when I got my hardcover of this book how big it was in comparison to some of the other Dungeons and Dragons campaign books. It's about it's almost twice the size of something you're looking at like Waterdeep Dragon Heist. It's a huge book, and that is, I mean, it's crammed full of stories, crammed full of chapters, crammed full of art. A ton of stuff is included with this book. So let's start with the Welcome to the Far North section. That seems right for us. Let's just get some great art here. Oh man. Really, just setting it up, this nice icy ship and everything here. So Icewind Dale, frozen, terrible, removed from a lot of the civilization that you see in normal Dungeons and Dragons games. A lot of Icewind Dale is going to be about environmental hazards. It's going to be about pitting, man versus nature is the big themes that you're going to see with this book. But there is sort of like one bastion of civilization that you're going to encounter, and that is the settlement of 10 towns. They are called 10 towns, and you probably guessed it, there are 10 towns that form 10 towns. And each of these settlements is on the smaller side, certainly nowhere in comparison to your Baldur's Gates or your Neverwinters. But these towns all eke out a living by fishing, by just, I mean, they're some of the hardiest people, certainly, in the lore of Faerun and the Sword Coast. So here you're looking at, all the 10 towns art you're going to see here. Just these ships that are cast in ice and snow. And then, oh man, this is another great piece here. Oh my gosh. The overview. Okay, I'll stop hovering over it so you don't keep getting these weird flashes. Yes, the art in this book, just right off the bat, first impressions, is fantastic. Wizards has definitely spent a lot of time developing I would say a new art style for this book. Everything in this book is dark and really gets that atmosphere of cold that you have coming through. So, I mean, the art direction was phenomenal on this book across the board, and we're definitely going to see that as we look at more and more pieces. So I was super duper impressed with all of the art assets that we get here. So, I mean, you're looking at like these 10 towns. Let's go ahead and find some more art for you. Look, oh my god, big cat. Yep, we have a big cat sighting. So more of this gorgeous art too, where you're seeing the Aurora Borealis. It's not actually called that, but basically, in terms of the plot of the book, Icewind Dale is in more trouble even than normal because Auril has cast this eternal winter spell over Icewind Dale. So an already cold place that doesn't experience a lot of sun is now cast in a perpetual twilight. And you really, really see that come through with the book. All of the pieces here, you're never getting direct sunlight in the paintings, which I know doesn't sound that exciting, but as you flip through, you really do see the challenges that they had to face with making this world so dark and so gritty, I feel like, through this whole thing. And of course here we have a crag cat depicted in this wonderful picture, and it is eating a Knucklehead Trout, which is basically the big staple of 10 towns. They are these gigantic fish that people fish for, and then they have these big bone ridges in their head that people harvest that and then, carve objects out of and weapons out of. And so that's sort of the biggest industry in 10 towns here. Let's go ahead and throw some more art up on. Oh my gosh. This is one of my favorite art pieces in the book. Let's just hover over that. Look, everybody. It's the Chewingas. For those of you who played through Tomb of Annihilation, you might recognize these little guys. Chewingas are elemental nature spirits who do, in fact, make an appearance once again in this book. And look at them go. They're so cute. Oh, the snow falling around. And I just once again, I want to point out, that beautiful, like that, little sliver of orange amidst all of these greens and blues. That's really what you're getting from the art direction. Just these beautiful contrasts. Yes, Scabby Rooster Celeste, it's me. Hello. Hello, everybody. Yes, RPG Dice, Isolation for Life. That is a big theme in this book, something you are seeing through the art direction. So highly relevant for these trying times. So yes. So that is just some of the wonderful stuff that just gives you kind of a first look, once again, at the general art direction we can expect from this book here. So that's sort of my generals, but let's look at some of the stuff you specifically get on Roll20 when you do go ahead and buy this book. Closing out of all my tabs. Let's start with some maps, shall we? I don't know about you, but that's always one of the first things I really like to look at in a book. Wizards of the Coast has done some amazing cartography work over the times, and I really, really enjoy the style that they ended up going in. So, of course, we have a ton of maps that we're looking up here. So let's go ahead and start with, a map of one of 10 towns. So as you can imagine, since there are 10 towns, and really those are sort of the only places of civilization, you are going to be spending a lot of time in 10 towns, especially at the beginning part of this book. The first chapter, as you can see here, is actually just labeled 10 towns. And sort of the general structure of this campaign is that your characters, once again, this is a level 1 to 12-ish kind of campaign, depending on how you play it. And so the first few levels of this campaign, you are going to be in 10 towns. And what's really exciting and interesting about all of these towns is they have different personalities. The people who live there definitely have different motivations, different goals, and you're really going to see that in the first chapter. So the way the leveling structure actually works is that you pick some of the quests in 10 towns. So right off the bat, as a dungeon master, you are going to be deciding which towns you want to start your campaigns in and which towns it's most likely probably for your party to go to. So looking here, look at this gorgeous map. So Bremen is one of the towns, obviously, that you can visit here. And I just love what they've done here with the really clean line work. And it really gives you a sense of just how small these towns are, which I think is something very cool for the party to be able to see, that you can hand them these maps and be like, okay, you can walk from one end of this town to the other in 20 minutes. Here's a map, enjoy. So that's something I really feel like they nailed with the art direction in this book. So let's go ahead and look at another town. So in contrast, Bryn Shander is going to be like your largest of the 10 towns here. So look at this. Oh my God, I love all the little lines. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So again, they're really going for that sense of realistic scale, I feel like, because civilization is so rare in this book. They really wanted to give you a finite sense of like how many buildings are here and how small these places are. So Bryn Shander of the 10 towns is definitely like the leader town. Each of these towns is sort of ruled by an elected person known as a speaker. And the speakers serve in sort of a governor, mayor capacity. But with Bryn Shander being, has the lead speaker, basically the tiebreaker in all of these decisions. So if decisions need to be made for all of Icewind Dale, all of the 10 towns rather, usually these speakers will meet at Bryn Shander and then decide things or not decide things. If you all are familiar with the history of Icewind Dale, you know that the people of the region are incredibly stubborn. They can tend to be sort of insular, especially because resources are so scarce. It often becomes, every person for themselves is sort of the feeling we're getting here. Posting, yes, disregard question. Towns are bigger than expected. This is definitely the biggest of them. And then the very, very smallest one, let's see if we can find it. It's Dugan's Hole. So this is the very smallest town we're looking at here. And this is like a population of maybe 100 people, I believe. So that's sort of the range we're going with, like 100 or so to around a couple thousand. And that's it, which is pretty small. It's a pretty small thing to deal with when you're looking at, the campaigns we've been playing and so far, like Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which really means that your player characters are absolutely going to have an effect wherever they go and whatever they do in this game, which is something that I'm very excited to see. I think a lot of parties aren't really going to have experienced that before. Let's see. We have a question from Prof. Telperion. Would you say this is more of a sandbox or a point A to point B story? So what's really great about this campaign is that it has a little bit of both. And we will definitely get to that when we talk a little bit more about Chapter 2. But yes, so for Chapter 1 here, we do have each of these towns and all of these, of course, gorgeous maps that we have here. And then, of course, let's go ahead and look at like a dungeon map too. So this is kind of one of the smaller ones that you get in this book, but look at that. Look at that gorgeous, clean cartography. And I do really like, of course I have, let me turn off dynamic lighting for you all so we don't have to deal with that. There we go. Okay, let's see those full rich colors here. So what I really, really like about this map style is that they do have those nice clean lines. So it's going to be obviously super easy to translate onto platforms, virtual tabletops like Roll20. Also super easy to draw on grids if that's going to be your thing. But they also have all of the rich colors and the textures surrounding everything, which I really enjoy. I think they kind of knocked it out of the park, honestly, with the maps for this adventure here. Let's see another good one. We have, of course, a couple ships do feature in this adventure. So we have some good ship maps for you, just to play around with. So Icewind Dale, for reference, is sitting against the Sea of Moving Ice. For those of you who played through Rise of Tiamat, you did get to visit the Sea of Moving Ice during that adventure. So it again makes an appearance here. Which is really cool. So you have, this tundra Arctic environment going on in the Dale itself. You also have those beacons of civilization in 10 towns, and then you can also visit this frosty Arctic sea. And in fact, part of this adventure does ask you to go out onto this frozen ocean and explore an island that may be home to a certain goddess, which is a very, very fun part of this book here. Yeah, the water details, everything, they're just, honestly, like, the more and more I look at these maps, the more I'm just desperately in love with everything about this book, of course. Ooh, we have a cutaway map, too. Let's look at this. Oh, my gosh. Look how beautiful that is. So we have, of course, a awesome map. Let me turn on dramatic lighting. It's dynamic lighting, but I like to think of it as dramatic lighting. Okay. So look at this awesome contrast that we have going on here, because also, because the icy tundra wasn't enough, the frozen sea wasn't enough, civilization wasn't enough, there is also a big mountain range included in Icewind Dale. So we are at the spine of the world, which is one of the highest mountain peaks in all of Faerun. So there is absolutely potential for your group to go up and explore all of the hazards and dangers in this mountainous region. Ashley likes dynamic light, dramatic lighting. Yes, it is very dramatic. Cool. Question: where dat Dritzt? Yes, you all may be asking, where is Dritzt in this novel? So this campaign takes place about 100 years after the last official Wizards of the Coast visit to Icewind Dale, which happened in 4th edition. They had the Crystal Shard they had a visit to Icewind Dale there. So this is 100 years after this. So well after the time when Drist and his friends were running around Icewind Dale, because that adventure set was way after that, and then this is way after that. So Drist does not make an official appearance in this campaign book, but certainly him and his exploits have shaped a lot of the Ten Towners' views, and definitely the history of that character is felt. And hey, I mean, if you're a party that loves Drist, elves live a really long time. So if you want to put him in here, you absolutely should. I definitely left some little Easter eggs for those of you who loved the Drist novels in this book. So I hope you find them when you're reading through the text here. Oh no, crying. Oh, sorry. Drist is always in our hearts though, so it's all good. Okay, any other maps that I really want to show you here? There's there's one really, really big dungeon in this book that I don't know if oh my gosh. Okay, let's just look at this real quick. Look at this map, everybody. I'm not going to tell you exactly what's going on with it, but this is incredible. Look at this, you all. Look at the colors. Look at what's going on here. I love that this book has gotten brave and bold with the cartography as well. Like, when have we seen a map like this? This is just absolutely incredible. You're getting that sort of Where's Waldo top down side dynamic view, which is just incredible. And honestly, every time you open another page of this book, you get a rare treasure like this. Oh yeah, def getting The Thing vibes. Chris Perkins has absolutely said that The Thing was a huge influence for this book, and it's certainly a movie I watched many times during this. So yeah. So that's just kind of a sneak peek at the general maps that you're going to get. And of course, all of these are loaded into Roll20. So all of this comes with the campaign when you do buy it. Let's look real quick at the token page too, because there are some awesome new monsters in this book. Look at them populating. Look at all of these monsters. So of course, like any good new D&D campaign, this does introduce some new monsters into the mix. I'm going to save monsters and magic items for a really deep look at the last few little bit of this, because I know that's what you're all here for, so I'm saving it towards the end. Yes, oh my gosh, look at these. Okay, let's zoom in. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, let's look at the big ones. Whoa. Look. O'Real, our goddess of winter. Look at her. Look at those bangs. Oh my god. Such good icy bangs. Very, very cool. And of course, oh, there's a dragon. What kind of icy adventure would this be without a good white dragon? Ice bangs confirmed. Yep. You're here. You're getting the scoop live right now. And of course, oh my god, look at this whale with a bubble on its head. Everybody look, those are adventurers in there. Whoa. Yep, this art also, there's a lot of underwater art that is included in this book, which is just really amazing. Bubble whale is best whale. I agree. Look at this happy little whale. Super good. And of course, in the packs you are going to get, we have seen some of these monsters here before. So mixed in among the new is certainly the older. Oh, wow. So again, I just want to emphasize this book is huge. This adventure has so much going on in it. It really, okay, but here we go. Here we go, everybody. This is what I was looking for. Oh, it's a baby Yeti. Everybody, baby Yeti. Yep. I think actually, okay, there's actually a handout of baby Yeti I have to show you all. Right now, stop everything. Let's look at the baby Yeti. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in this book. I love it. Wow. Wow, where's my Yeti? It's just too much. Okay. Well, you know what? You all are looking on the page of the Yeti, so I don't feel too bad about taking up your time here. Wow, look at all these handouts. This is magical. This is so magical. And I also just want to say it is wild that I am getting to share a book that I helped write with you all right now. What kind of world is this? Okay, it's oh yes, of course it's the very last one. There he is. Oh my gosh. Everybody look. It's the baby Yeti. Show us the owie snow bear. The snowy owlbear. Wow, I'm having trouble talking. I will show you the snowy owlbear too, which is another of the very, very cool things that you get in this book. Okay, just because you asked. Look at the chunk. Wow. And also, once again, the super, super impressive sky work that they did, you know, for that Aurora Borealis once again. Yeah, chunk. This is a thick boy. You have to be thick to survive in the north. I feel like I would do very well there. Yes. Absolute unit. You all are wonderful. Yeah. So that's just another look, once again, at just all of the tokens that come in this book. Oh my gosh. Is that a bloody moose? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, everybody. Bloody moose. We also have... Oh, gosh. So good. More great Yeti art coming at us. As you can imagine, Yetis are one of the roaming threats. We also have a new kind of axebeak that shows up in this adventure, because axebeaks are one of the best ways to get around 10 towns. But I suppose that brings me to some of the other stuff that you can get in this awesome book. So let me go ahead and find 10 towns. So jumping back to sort of the structure of this adventure. So your first 3 levels are going to be spent doing quests in 10 towns. And the way this book is set up is that each town has a starting quest for you to basically choose from, for the players to choose from, depending on what towns they want to visit and where they want to go. And there is a system that's built in this book for growing your reputation in all of Icewind Dale. So as you complete quests in certain towns, your reputation goes up across the board because it is such a small place, such an insular community. Everything you do really does make a difference for your adventuring party. So let's just look at just some of the art. I'm not going to go over all of the quests, of course, but this is just some art for one of those quests that you can expect to see in the book. Honestly, I think the hardest part of running this adventure is going to be choosing which awesome quests to go on, because it's going to be hard. There is some good stuff happening here. Let me try and get that. Look at those bears. Wow. Wow. So we are definitely... Oh, yep, some of the maps in here. So that's sort of the general structure of Chapter 1. You are going to be going around and helping these towns. And basically, once you complete a certain number of quests in these towns... this book has been designed purely around the milestone system. The milestones are very clearly stated in this book and really, really clear and easy to understand how a dungeon master should go about running this book, which is something I really enjoy. I feel like, you know, the milestone versus XP section, they've been working back and forth on how to do it. I really like the way it's been done in this book. In particular, I think it's very good. So that is the 10 town quests that we're looking at here, and then Chapter 2, of course. Let me tell you a little bit about Chapter 2 because it's sort of my favorite. Don't tell the other chapters. Oh my gosh, look! Oh, I keep getting distracted by the art. This is what talking to yourself for 2 hours does. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, yes, so chapter 2 of the book, something I really, really, really like about it is that it is built very similarly to the chapter and Curse of Strahd, which basically has those kind of sandbox locations that you all are mentioning back. So this is circling back to that question about whether this campaign has story or feels more like a driven story path or more like a sandbox. Really, you're getting that sandboxy feel with chapter 2 itself. So, campaign structure, first 3 levels, you are doing some of the quests that have already been established for the towns. You know, each town has a quest that you can do. Once you do those, level 3, cool. Then we go to chapter 2, which is a bunch of locations, and at those locations are quests, things to do, things to accomplish. And so the next piece of leveling is all about traveling to these different locations and then fulfilling the quests there. So it sort of does have that sandboxy feel. It really does encourage you to explore these places and to deal with the troubles there. And what's really great is that they give you lots of campaign hooks to get you out to these places. So there are great tables and just hook suggestions based on which quests you finish in which town that will direct you to these awesome locations, which they call places of interest. So let's look at the big... Ooh, this is the big map of Icewind Dale here. So this is the overall map. This is something that you get, in that folded out piece of paper in the hardback. But of course, it's great and big and beautiful for you right here on Roll20. So you can see, once again, we're looking at Icewind Dale all together. And of course, we have the Sea of Moving Ice up there, and each of the locations that has sort of these story features tied to it is marked clearly on this map for you. So that's how Chapter 2 is built, breaking down each of these locations here. Oh, we have a question in chat. Do you think this will be a good module for replays? I really do, based on how many choices and options you have. I know there has been some concern out there that this module is harder to follow. I completely disagree with that. I think what's wonderful about this is that there are so many options for a dungeon master to build what you want to do in this game. It really, really just eliminates that feeling of being railroaded and gives you so many tools and locations and quests to kind of build what you like and to make that campaign really your own. So, I mean, even the fact that there are like 10 towns with 10 starting quests, you play through one time, you're only going to do 3 of those quests. You can play through it again. You can play 3 totally different quests. Your reputation will change in the town, which will change which hooks you get in this chapter, which places to visit. So replayability, I think, is huge in this book, which is something that's very exciting to see. I feel like some of our earlier campaigns didn't have this wealth of options in front of us. And really, the whole time, the people of 10 towns are really struggling with this eternal winter. They are struggling for resources. There are so many monsters and factions wandering around Icewind Dale looking to cause trouble that it really feels you always have something to do and a really good motivation to do it, which is something I really, really enjoy about this campaign. Sakamatan5 says, how far apart are 10 towns? Are there significant travel times, days, weeks, or is it pretty close together? So they are generally close together. What's really nice about this book, something I really enjoyed, was that they have exact travel times in between the towns. So you really do understand how far things are, which is just great because especially, someone like me, I just lose sense of distance and time in these games. So it is really helpful that they have included that in the book. I'm trying to find that little table for you here. Oh my gosh, there's just so much stuff. Look at it all. Oh, this is wonderful. Yeah. So just looking at running chapter 1, of course, you also, if you want to do this randomly, they do have a table for you where you can just roll random starting towns and random quests. So this is so easy to put a campaign together or to pick and choose what you would like. This is also another great feature they have, 10 Towns Rumors. So these are actually the hooks that you can get to go to each of these towns. So they've really given you lots of tools as a dungeon master to get your characters to move all around the heckin' place, which is great. Yeah, so character advancement, reputation, all of these things we kind of mentioned before. Yeah, so let's look at a couple more of these places of interests here. I mean, just looking at some of these names, Ongajuke's Bell, the Black Cabin, Cackling Chasm, Cave of the Berserkers, Dark Duchess, Id Ascendant. I mean, these are very evocative names for very evocative places that have lots of cool hooks and treasures and monsters for your parties to explore. So that's the general look of Chapter 2 and kind of the feeling you're going to get, which is, of course, that well-loved, I think, Curse of Strahd style of play, style of exploration. So I think this is something that people are really going to enjoy, especially if you were a fan of Curse of Strahd here. Oh, Dan, thank you. It's in the individual 10 towns entries. Thank you. I was struggling. Got it. Cool. Oh, yeah, let's actually look at one of these 10 towns here. So I pulled up Bremen, so the little section you're going to be looking at here. Of course, you know, they have a little history of Bremen for you. Bremen in a nutshell. What's nice is that they have little star ratings for each of the towns. So it lets you know right off the bat how friendly these people are going to be, how many services, resources they have available, and comfort based on the number of stars that you see. So it's a really great visual way just to tell right off the bat. It, of course, breaks down the leader of the town, gives you the heraldry. Overland Travel, there it is. There it is. Overland Travel, heavy snow has obliterated a trail. Adventurers can make the journey on foot, can reach Targos in 2 hours. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, so all the towns are within a couple hours of each other. Some, of course, on the farther ends of the spectrum are going to take a little bit more. Something they really do talk a lot about in this book, too, is how to get around. I'm staring this axe beak in the face here. Since they do have the snowy axe beaks available, they also talk a lot about dog sledding in this book. So there are lots of great rules on how to dog sled your way around Rime of the Frostmaiden. And I think that's fantastic. Who doesn't want that? So it's really good stuff. Posting says, I'm not familiar with the Spine of the World mountain range. Is travel to that region primarily by boat, or is there a land road path to get to the region? So to get up into the Spine of the World, you would go on foot. It doesn't border the Sea of Moving Ice, so that is going to be a mountain climbing adventure for the folks looking to go there. Cool. And then wilderness encounters, of course. Yay! Oh, Chunky Boy again. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's look. We can look at the macro table. I love it. Look at all the tables included. Wow. Look at all these tables, gang. So these are, for those not familiar with Roll20, they take all of the tables in the book, in the adventure, and then they load them in for you. So we can just go ahead and roll on the tables here. So, I don't know, should we roll on some tables? I think so. Included in this adventure is a great wilderness encounters section. So there are tons of options to really spice up when you are traveling to those locations in Chapter 2. There is so many resources and so much good stuff that you're going to be encountering. Yes! Oh, roll that Yeti encounter. Okay. Maybe I'll start with a wilderness encounter and then we'll get to Yeti. That's... yes, this stream will be available as a VOD later, Lilith. So thanks for stopping by, and you can definitely catch this on YouTube, and you all can tell your friends to watch it as well. Very cool. And Doc Baca says, any idea if the module can be adapted to start at level 5 instead of 1? Yes, absolutely. So what's really great about this is that they make it really, really easy to jump into the different chapters of the book. So if you do want to skip those entry quests and then just go right into exploring Icewind Dale. There are already a lot of great hooks that are incorporated in the book. So basically, once your party arrives in Icewind Dale, you can just give them some of those hooks to address. Or, if you want to be really brave, you can dive right into the adventure in earnest, which kind of starts in chapter 3, when sort of the main plot of this adventure really starts getting going, if you want to do that. Otherwise, what is really nice about it is I feel like each of the chapters in the overarching plot could really be done on their own too, if you wanted, with very little adaptation. So I really do feel like you can pick and choose and make this adventure work for your table. Very cool. Let's roll on this random wilderness encounter here. What did we get? Icewind kobolds! Oh gosh, you guys, there's kobolds in Icewind Dale. How could I even forget that? So this is the big table we were rolling on for reference. So it's a D20 table that is just full of awesome new adventures to have. And of course, they break down what all of these encounters look like for you. And then, of course, some of them even break down even further inside the adventure, because this section is really big and chunky, and it is just so lovely to see here. So let's see if we can do the Icewind Dale kobolds. Icewind kobolds. I don't know about you, but I love kobolds. Does anyone not love kobolds? Oh, best art prize. It's 3 kobolds in a trench coat. Everybody. Yes. Yep. So Icewind Dale kobolds are here. They are in Icewind Dale. They are trickier than ever, standing on top of each other in trench coats. So while we look at that, let's see. Don't know if you can go into detail. Question from Sly, aka Gray Fox. But Oriel and Umberlee had shown some interactions in the past. Will Umberlee play a role, even if small, with Oriel in Rime of the Frostmaiden? Not in the adventure as written. For now, Umberlee doesn't make an appearance in this book. But what's really great about this story is that they are exploring some of those, those not lesser gods. I guess they are technically considered lesser gods, but we're getting to really see some of the drama and results that come from the Faerunian pantheon. And something I really enjoy in my D&D adventures is really the interplay with gods and mortals. And I love that we get to finally kind of come head to head with that in a book. So, I mean, if you want to throw Umberlee in there, I think you should, because Umberlee is a lot of fun. Ooh, David Bastionson. Question. It has been teased in other adventures that there are black obelisks throughout the Sword Coast. Is this addressed in Rime of the Frostmaiden? Let's just say that's a secret you have to uncover. But it's good. It's good. I think once you read it, you'll like the answer. Yes, there are literally kobolds stacked on top of each other in a trench coat. Oh, cold balds. That's just a bad joke. That's a bad joke. Okay, awesome. So I guess I'll stop looking at the kobolds here. But let's roll again. Let's roll again on that wild encounter table. Snowy Owlbear. We already saw that art. Easy. My word. Don't tell the Snowy Owlbear that. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Oh, that's number. Whoops. Yeti varies. Yep. So there are a bunch of new... Well, the Yeti tyke is introduced in this book, so there are some really fun encounters with younger versions of Yetis. And then, of course, you do have your abominables and your normal Yetis. And what's great in this book, too, is that there's a lot of environmental challenges that do come up in the book that sometimes a blizzard will roll in. And when a blizzard rolls in, it's more likely that a Yeti is going to stalk your party through a blizzard, which is just extra fun, extra spicy. So that's good stuff. Cool. So that was me chatting about, kind of chapter 2. I feel like we've gotten a pretty good overview of what's going on there. So let me go bounce back up here. Icewind Dale. Yes. So like I mentioned, Chapter 3 is really where your adventure is going to be kicking off in earnest here. And I feel like this adventure all the way through sort of that level 5 mark, when you've been exploring 10 towns, you've been exploring the other locations here, there are hints that are woven in through the whole thing about the nature of what's actually happening in Icewind Dale. There are a lot of factions at play in this book, which is something that I really enjoy. Of course, you have the obvious problem of a god of winter that has cast a very visible spell on the sky to cast everything in darkness, but there are a lot of other forces playing around, taking advantage of that fact that Icewind Dale is darker than usual. There are also people who are there looking for certain treasures, things that might be buried in the icy snowcaps. So these factions definitely show up and are hinted at through all of these other adventures. So chapter 3, you really come face to face with some of these factors. I'll go ahead and put up the art here. I'm not going to give away what happens, but look at this. Let's just say there is a big, very cool location for you to explore in Chapter 3, which is called Blight. So you might be able to imagine what's going on there. Factors confirmed, yes. Postsing says, is there any official Dwarven community in the mountains? I assume from the harsh environment and limited towns, there are not. Dwarves, mountains, and mining comes up, and I will have to address that question. There are definitely dwarves in Icewind Dale. We have the legacy of Bruno a Battlehammer to contend with. So, of course, there are dwarves that are living in 10 towns. And dwarves, are some of the hardiest people out there. So, dwarves definitely would be right at home if you're playing a dwarf in this setting. There are tons of dwarven NPCs. So, dwarves definitely play a great role in this adventure. Let's see. Question from Sakura. Would you say there is more Arctic or mountain terrain regarding Rangers' favorite terrain? Yes! Finally. I've said, I can't remember what interview I said it in, but this is like the book finally for Rangers, I feel like, or for, druids that want to change into polar bears and do things like blizzards all the time. I feel like this is finally the favored terrain book for those winter-minded folks out there. So I think especially, if you have any players that are really into nature or survival, this book, they are going to love this campaign. Because like I mentioned, there are a ton of environmental hazards out there. There are a ton of hostile monsters and animals that feature in this book. So really those characters are going to love getting to finally play in a setting that is really, really targeted for them. So absolutely. Yes, cast ice spells on all the ice things. You know what? I bet it'll work. It'll be good stuff. So that's Chapter 3. I'm not going to give away the details, but that's Blight. And then, of course, Chapter 4, we're looking at something called Destruction's Light. Let's just look at the picture. Let's just look at the picture. Oh my gosh, everybody. Let's sit with that for a second. Question, can you tell us a little bit about your writing process on this project from That Salty Ginger? Yes, I definitely can. So this process, so basically Chris Perkins is the lead designer, the lead writer on this book. So when we came on to the project as writers, basically the structure for this adventure was written, was established, and then we sort of got to take the different parts of the book, the parts that we felt really passionate about, and worked on those assignments in particular. So I got to work with an amazing team of other writers. We actually call ourselves the Valkyries, and we still have a Twitter chat to this day where we, commiserate and share how scary it was to work on an official Wizards of the Coast project. But there was a lot of love and a lot of support that came from that group of writers. But yeah, so that was sort of the experience. Chris gave us this beautiful canvas of a story that was very, what it was, and we got to fill in the points. Yeah, so it was an incredible process. I also probably, just in terms of process, I re-listened to so many Drizzt novels just in preparation, watched The Thing, read a lot of horror books, revisited some Lovecraft, really just to get into the mindset of writing this book. Question, what is that? I'm not going to tell you, but look, more chonky. What I really like about Icewind Dale is that everything is chonky. I really relate to all of the creatures that live in the frozen north. So, yep, once again, gang, look at that. Look at the sky. It's gorgeous. Yeah, but that's Destruction's Light. Ashley, Eric B. My names. I watched the movie It to get ready for this. Oh my gosh, that's a very scary movie, and good pick. Good pick. Chonkwindale. Yep. And then, of course, let's do a sneaky peeky at Chapter 5's art here, too. Ooh, this is the chapter called Oriel's Abode. Look at this. God, the art in this book is just incredible. Ugh, I love it. Yeah. Yes, we saw the Awakened Moose token earlier. Yep. Yeah, really, all of this art here. And then Chapter 6, it's called The Caves of Hunger. Let's look at this. Ooh, so this was an art piece that they used to tease a lot of when this book was coming out here. But yeah, The Caves of Hunger, which someone might have been the author for this section of the book. So when your party is really sad because it's really mean, let me know on Twitter. I bathe in your tears. Yep. So this party standing here outside this crack in the ice for a chapter called The Caves of Hunger. Posting asks, can you share with us if there is one element, creature, storyline, scenario, NPC that you are really proud of and can point to and say, I created that? Yes, definitely. Well, I can't super duper date but The Caves of Hunger is let's say there's a lot of a great mix of environmental open spaces and then dungeons in this book, and it was a real joy to get to bring that horrifying dungeon experience to a book that already has so many themes about isolation and horror, and really getting to explore those and make those the main feature of a dungeon crawl was a very, very good time that I was extremely happy to participate in and to give to this book here. Chapter 7, the final chapter, The Doom of Ythrin. Look at this art, everybody. Look at it! Oh my god! Oh, it's so horrible and evocative. Yep. Give him a glimpse of Tekalili. That's a good point. Okay, Dan. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit and show you my baby from the Caves of Hunger. Okay, are you all ready for this? Do. Okay, where are you? My baby! There he is, everybody. This is this great creature from the Caves of Hunger that I promise I did my best to torture your parties with this guy. Oh yeah. Yes, so this is Null Vampire, which is one of the new creatures included in this book. So really, really good stuff. As you can see, look at that red face. Oh, my sweet boy. Very good. Oh, also this. I just want a big poster of this to like hang above my desk and write like deadlines above it. I really feel that that piece speaks to me. Yeah, so those were just all the cover images for the main chapters of this book. So as you can see, there were some themes presented in this book. So horror, you saw some bloody faces in this book. So this is definitely a campaign that is going to play with horrific themes. So something I'm also really, really proud of is that there is a section in here that is all about running your games safely. Running horror safely. I really enjoy that it did get printed in the main text and included in this adventure, which is all about speaking to your players about triggers and content warnings and fears and really establishing those things before you start playing. Because definitely this adventure goes into some dark places. So before you start this campaign, you should sit down and have a candid conversation with the players you're going over and, you know, figure out what the hard lines are, figure out what the soft lines are, and make sure that everybody is safe and comfortable, even if their characters aren't during this journey. So I really enjoyed that that got included in the book. I guess that's something I'll really point at and say I am so proud that that made that into this book, into this adventure. Yes. Question, are there new backgrounds in the book? There are some helpful suggestions for backgrounds here for you to explore. So let me go ahead and see here. Supplemental rules. Items. Oh, everybody, Pawafwees are finally here. For those of you drift lovers, just look at the Pawafwee, because I always loved saying that word. Which is a very cool cloak from the drow. Just to let you all know. Special equipment is something that's included. Oh, here we go. Here's the section with the dog sleds. So yeah, in the back here we have the special equipment all about axe beaks, cold weather clothing, crampons, dog sleds, rowboats, snowshoes. These are all helpful equipment things that your players will need to make their experience a little bit easier getting around the icy environs of Icewind Dale. Here we go. So something, actually, one of you brought up a really great point about backstories. So backstories, they of course do have the suggestions for how to tie the PHB backstories into this campaign. But a really cool feature that they have that if you would like to use it is character secrets, which is something they have here. So they have included a bunch of different character secrets. Some of them are pretty deadly. Some of them are pretty innocuous. But if you would like to include these secrets during character creation, they can make your time in Icewind Dale just a little bit more fun. And again, evocative names. So we're talking Doppelganger, Secret, Dristfan, Elusive Paramour, Littlest Yeti, Old Flame, Owlbear Whisperer. So this is a very, very fun thing that gets included. And of course, on Roll20, you actually get those little card decks here. Should we draw a secret, everybody? Let's do it. Deal 1 cards to me. I just want to me. Okay. Okay. All right, what's my secret? Let's learn. Ooh. Oh my god, okay. Wow, I got a really bad secret, everybody. So this is fun. So if you would like, during character creation, to include one of these secrets with your characters, and I highly recommend you do, because some of them are very good. Slad host, let's just look at this. A red slad implanted a pellet-sized egg in me shortly before I started my adventuring career. If I can't get rid of it in the next 2 months, the egg will gestate inside me and a slad tadpole will burst from my chest, killing me. It will then quickly grow into an adult slad and kill even more people. So, there's that to consider here. So this is one of the worst ones I drew randomly. So that's the magic of drawing things randomly. But again, not all of the let me draw another one just to Okay, let's get one more here. Dristfan. Yeah, I once met the famous Drow Ranger Dristo Erden. In fact, I have a tattered piece of his famous green cloak and would never think to part with it. See, that's a nice one. We really got two ends of the spectrum here. But it's great, if you do want to incorporate these during character creations, that is a great way to tie your characters immediately into the world and the vibe of this campaign. Whether it is, knowing that a clock is ticking in your chest, and whether you choose to tell your party or not, that could be a point of contention, which is pretty great. Or if, you're just like a diehard Drist fan and, you're always looking for signs of Drist in Icewind Dale, that is also just a great way to tie your character into the world here. Oh, Dan Dillon. So Dan Dillon is also one of the creators of this book, who is hanging out here in chat. Thanks, Dan, for being here. One of my favorite bits is the scattered notes throughout the book that say, if one of your players has the Sladho secret and hasn't dealt with it, this would be a great time for it to hatch. Yeah, there are a bunch scattered in there, and they are at really bad moments. So that is really fun. Kind of suggestions to help you out as a good indication of when that would be great. So that is good stuff. Hatching hints confirmed. I thank you all for confirming these hints that we're going throughout this book. Very, very cool. Okay, well, do we just want to look at some of the appendixes in the back of the book? I feel like looking at the appendices, that's always one of the first things I do whenever I get one of these new books. I'm really always curious to see what the new monsters are that are included, what the new items that they include, and then, of course, whatever other treasures they have in these sections. So let's go ahead and look at the appendices we have here. So Appendix A, we have Icewinddale Trinkets, which is super fun. Oh, look, some arts of the trinkets included in this book. So what I really like, during character creation, I really enjoy those little trinket tables, which are, of course, non-magical, not really valuable things that your characters might have on them. So this book does have a new Icewinddale Trinkets table. That once again helps you kind of get into the world of Icewind Dale, sort of the culture going on here. Yes, Dan answered earlier. Drist doesn't appear in this book, but there are definitely references and Easter eggs. For those of you playing through, look for a certain book with a certain name that I have put somewhere in this adventure. Just be really cagey about it. But keep your eyes out for some Easter eggs here. So let's look at some of these trinkets. A small wooden figure of a yawning walrus painted in red and black. Already very evocative, very good. A brooch made from a small insect encased in amber. Very good, very good. A scrimshaw pepper shaker etched with the letter W. Confusing for a pepper shaker. Very spooky. Very scary things happening. A set of wind chimes made from seashells. A tin that smells like rotting fish. Sea glass. Owl figure carved from whalebone. Yeah, so a lot of new trinkets that really send you into the world here. Oh, very cool. Oh my gosh, look at that walrus. Look at that cute boy. This book is such a good mix of like dastardly cute beasts and just horrifying things like Sladhost. Really, really great job, designers, on this one. Uwu pepper. Yep, rage. That's Dan Dillon. Yes, I did do the romance novel. That was me. Look out for that. Very cool. I like that I'm getting to tell Dan now all the little secrets I put in here. This is fun for me. Cool. And then back to the appendices, we did have Appendix B, character secrets. So once again, that is that great table of all of these secrets you can use during character creation. I also don't see why you wouldn't just use these sometimes for NPCs. Just, if you need to spice up an encounter. I think, having a pirate cannibal show up as an NPC might be a great deal of fun. So that is something here. Cool. Let's go ahead and look at some creatures. Wow. Okay, so the art just at the top of the book here. I think somebody mentioned the Reged Nomids in the chat. So let's look at them. So you are going to see the Reged Nomads in this book. So these are people who live and travel about Icewind Dale. So these are there are 4 tribes in the Dale that are separate. They choose not to live with the people of 10 Towns. They have their own cultures and their very own ways of living. So these people travel across the Frosty Plains following herds of reindeer. Each of the tribes is associated with a different animal. So you have the tribe of the elk, the bear, the tiger, and the wolf. And of course, all of these tribes do make appearances across the book here. Some in a helpful way, some in a harmful way to your party. But they all have lots of great characters, lots of rich history that has been incorporated with these tribes people. So yeah, look at this. Look at all the art. So these are all sort of in the traditional hunting costumes that you're going to see from each of the 4 tribes. All of these folks represented here. Yeah. Let's see. There are fish tins and maybe canning factories in 10 Towns. Based on, there is certainly a lot of fishing, a lot of industry around the Knucklehead Trout. So perhaps there are. Yeah, so these are the Reged folks. And then, of course, Goliath player characters. This is something I did definitely want to talk about. So what's very great is that we actually see the Goliaths make an appearance in this book, in this adventure, in a very cool way. So the Goliaths were introduced, of course, in Volos as a playable race in this game, and we actually get to see Goliaths in their sort of natural environment in this book. So further up in the areas of Icewind Dale, you do have Goliaths that are living in the mountain ranges up above, and there are some incredibly fun encounters with the Goliaths and their favorite sport, goat ball. So I just want to emphasize that goat ball is something you can play in this campaign. There are rules given to you for goat ball, which is fantastic. So playing a Goliath in this campaign would be a lot of fun for player characters, because you could be from Icewind Dale, you could be from one of these settlements that actually lives here and has a storied history and an investment in stopping the horrific weather and situation that is happening to Icewind Dale. So that is a very, very cool part of this book. So definitely a great option available to your players. I love that everybody's very excited about Goat Ball in the chat here. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, so that is the Goliaths here. And then, once again, just look at this art. So good. Wow. This is up close. So this is one of O'Reil's. I'll get that right eventually. One of O'Reil's forms in action here. Look at her power. Look at the bangs. Sakamana 10-5 says, question, is the ball made out of goat or is it a balled up goat? It is made out of the corpse of a goat that is formed into a ball. So made of goats. It is not a boat. It is not a goat that you're throwing around, but that would also be very scary for the goat. So maybe it's better that the goat is dead. Oh no. You heard it here, folks. Cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at some of these creatures we have going on here. Ooh, wow, so many tokens. That's so good. I love me some good Roll20 tokens. Oh, very cool. Supplemental rules. Yes. Player art handouts. Oh, I got distracted again by the chewingas. Okay. Wow, Roll20 is going to be like, Celeste, you just keep getting so distracted during this whole... I can't help it. It's just so good. Oh, all the handouts. Okay. Ooh, let's look at the Abominable Yeti handout they have going on here. Whoa. Whoa. I don't know if you all have fought an Abominable Yeti in Dungeons & Dragons yet, but they are terrifying. They are absolutely scary. That Salty Ginger says, will the module be set to updated dynamic lighting as default, or will it run on legacy dynamic lighting? So I believe this is going to be the updated dynamic lighting included with this campaign, which is really great because darkness and light is such a huge part of this adventure in particular. So really having those options on Roll20. So as you are going through these dark caves of hunger or exploring some of these fortresses in the book, really getting to play with the dynamic lighting is going to ramp up the fear factor in this game. There's lots of things that are about to pop out at you all the time. So I'm really excited to use the dynamic lighting in particular when I'm playing through this adventure here. Cool. Oh, yeah. And, in chat, if you are sold on this adventure, you can look and go pick it up right now on Roll20. So, get in there. I think everything officially comes out tomorrow, but get in here. Make sure you are on that frosty wave. Cool. Abominable Yeti. Very good stuff. Ooh. Yeah, of course, we have some classic monsters featuring in this adventure here. The handout here. So Awakened Plesiosaurus is one of the new things you're going to see in this book. So there is a really great underlying plot, I would say, of a lot of awakened beasts that are running around Icewind Dale. So there are a lot new awakened beast stat blocks in here, and also some tips and tricks for making your own awakened beasts out of anything in this book, which is really great to see. And look at this dinosaur. You all know that I love dinosaurs, if you know who I am. So seeing this art in particular, so good. Let's see. David Bastian said, will safety tools be included to deploy in the module, or will this be something we have to continue to use with X cards and stuff? There is not an official tool built into this campaign directly, but there are lots of great tools and options out there for using that are compatible with virtual tabletop. So I highly recommend looking around, seeing what's out there, and getting some in there. Very cool. All right. Oh, also, hi, everybody. New creature in this book. It's another baby. Look at this. Okay. I will say also, if you want to experience baby griffins, which are in this book, you should go visit the Goliath's Dungeon Masters. So that is a new monster that you can see in this book. Oh, here's another good one. I can't wait for you all to find out where this comes into the adventure. But this is a new monster. Brain in a Jar is a new monster included in this module. So, really, we're here to up all of your Halloween games just with this appendix, I feel like. Yep, Brain in a Jar. Brain in a Jar, everybody. This is not a drill. This is one of the new monster stat blocks that you can look forward to in this book. Oh, so good. So gross. Look at it. Okay. Cool. Let's take a tour of everything else we got in here. Shardolin Berserkers. Ooh, spooky. So as you can imagine, one of the things that does come up in this game is body horror is something that does appear in this book. So again, emphasizing safety tools are really important to use with this campaign. But like what we're looking at here, these berserkers, I mean, clearly you're looking at like frostbite is coming in here and some damage going on. So this is one of the very scary fellows that you get a stat block for included in this book here. Yes, we're jumping from baby griffins to frostbitten berserkers here, so it's really got everything. Sakamontana says, what does the brain water taste like? I imagine pretty gross. Formaldehyde? Salt? I don't know. That's a really uncomfortable question to fathom the answer to. But good. I'm glad we're, asking the hard-hitting questions here. Yes, of course. It's our chonky boy. It's our chonky boy again. This is a new type of dragon that features in this book. And, I mean, just looking at it, it looks like it's covered in armored plating. There's something awesome going on here. So this is a new dragon that you get access to when you get access to this adventure, which is super duper cool. I always love me a good dragon. Metallic or chromatic? I don't know. I do know, but that's something fun to discover from you. Doc Bake says, are there any colors from space in the monster manual? That would be awesome. There are a lot of creatures that do things similar to the color in space, I will say, because Lovecraftian horror was definitely a big influence in this book, especially Beyond the Mountains of Madness. I will say was a huge influence here. So that is something really, really good. Here we go. Also, these are some of my favorite creatures that appear in this book. The Magin. So there are a few different types of these creatures. These are beings made from magic. So this is something that comes up in this book. So stats for a couple different versions of these, which is super duper cool. Also, I want to be a cool green teal person. That looks awesome. There you go. Okay, some suggestions about the brain juice. Tastes like pickles. Tastes like Capri Sun. Okay, let's do Capri Sun. I think that's way better than that's way better than what I was thinking. Is the blue its mouth or its eyes? What? That is both mouth and eyes here. Okay. What else have we got going on? Ooh, we have some updated art for the Duergar Hammerer. Ooh, look how gross. Look at the spike in the head. Again, body horror warnings. Duergar do make a very strong appearance in this book and have a lot to do with some of the plot elements that come up. So it was cool that we got to revisit and got some very scary art for the Duergar Hammerer coming through in this book. Oh my gosh. So good. Let's see. What else? I'm trying to look for just the new ones for you. Cool. We get some Frost Druid art going on here. So like I was saying, this campaign is going to be a dream for your nature-minded players who really want to explore the elements of the north and the cold and being winter druids. So you will definitely encounter frost druids in this campaign. Some in a good capacity, some in a bad capacity, some true neutral because they're druids, let's be quite honest. Very cool. That Salty Ginger says, there was a question earlier, where do we find the background music used under the starting soon screen? It fits the module really well. This piece that I used for the starting soon and the end screen was a great song that I pulled from Purple Planet. I bought the license for to be able to use here. So Purple Planet, go check them out. Also, Tabletop Audio is a great place to find some really spooky stuff to use for this campaign. I really feel like I'm going to be using the music feature that they have in Roll20 quite a lot during this campaign. So I would suggest, looking for some awesome, great chilling tunes right now, because I think that's going to add a lot to this campaign as you run through it here. Oh my gosh, that's another chunk. Look at him. He's glorious. Giant walrus. As you can imagine, walrus if you're going through the sea of moving ice, walrus are around. Absolutely. Yep, Purple Planet was the site with that music tune. Wow, I hope you all don't mind. I'm just honestly just taking you through a tour of the art because it's all so cool. Okay. So we looked at the Null Vampire, but here we go. Here's another. Boom. Gnome Squidlings. Now, the role of these creatures. So I will say one of the places you can go to in Chapter 2 is extremely interesting, and you can see these little fellows in actions here. Big yikes. What the frack is that? These are also things I said when I saw this. Maybe this will help you all. Oh my god, maybe that'll help you all figure it out. Look at them! Look at them in all their nefarious / cute glory. Yep. Yes, the mucus, Dan. I really feel like the artist captured the mucus in this this painting, which is just absolutely phenomenal. So here, some new creatures. So the Gnome Squidling, the Gnome Ceramorph, which you can tell is a kind of mind flayer. So we are really branching out on our mind flayers. So we get a taste of that. Even honestly, this campaign has everything, folks. I hope you're sold on it between all these adorable chonky creatures and all of the terrible things we're getting here. Okay, one of the most chill creatures in this book. Oh my god, look how chill. Okay, let's put away the mucus. Look how chill, everybody. Goliath Werebear. So in particular, we get stats for when a Goliath, which are already these gigantic individuals, like between 7 and 8 feet tall, become a werebear. They get cool glasses and go fishing. Wow. Dude, yes, everybody. So chill. Yeah, so good. Just fishing, vibing, having a good time. So Goliath Werebear, something you can look forward to in this book. Okay. Oh yeah, here's the Magin. Oh, this one's scary. Oh my god. They look like they're gonna tell me I'm doing my English homework wrong. That's my impressions we're getting at here. Oh, and of course we have the Knucklehead Trout and all of its glory. So Knucklehead Trout, of course, the main staple of 10 Towns for a lot of reasons, for food, and you can really see that big bulbous kind of bone that they grow in their head here that it carves almost like ivory or scrimshaw. That is a huge source of trade in Icewind Dale here. So something I enjoy is this campaign includes rules for fishing, which is really great. So if you do want to spend some time fishing up one of these beauties, you certainly can do that. Also, these things are huge, y'all. They're like 3-4 feet. They can grow up to like 8 feet in length. So this is, look at their little eyeball. Cute but dangerous. I imagine fishing that would be extremely mean. Not a relaxing time. Not a chill beers time. I guess unless you're that werebear, then it's pretty chill. Some other very cool things that we get to see come up in this book are living spells. So this sort of happened a bit with the Eberron books. We got some hints of living spells, but these are now monsters that you get in this. So Living Bigby's Hand. So look at this. There's a spell brought to life that you actually get the statistics for in this book, which is extremely cool. Also terrifying. How do you fight that? Well, that guy doesn't know. Will any of us know? I don't know. Living Blade of Disaster. Ah! This sounds like a really bad time. But yep, living spells. So you're getting these included in the new appendices. Let's see. Question. So if they're living spells, will Dispel Magic kill it? I bet it'll hurt it, but I bet it won't kill it. Oof. I don't even know. How would you even fight that? Living Demi-Plane? It just gets worse. Whoa. This is some Cthulhu nonsense. Wow. Look, okay, I'd be scared too behind this pillar. Gosh, this art is just gorgeous though. Living Demi-Plane. So these are all things that are included in the appendices, gang. So these are new monsters that you see with this adventure, which I think is one of my favorite parts always in exploring these books. Yes. What is going on in this adventure? It says with adult. There's a lot. There's a lot of good stuff going on here. Oh, so cool. Yes. Okay. Let me see what else. Oh, there's just some good polar bear art. Once again. Well, we saw this one earlier, but what are they pulling? Some kind of wagon? Yes, they are. And some reindeer. Oh, look at this. Look how pretty this is. Yeah, so once again, awakened animals are a huge thing in this book. And of course, when you do have folks like the Regig tribes wandering around, there is, they do hunt reindeer. So of course, you have some cool reindeer stats. And this buck in particular seems to have a magical element to him. So I wonder what that's all about. This is basically the Twilight Zone here. Yep. It's yeah. This reindeer would be a cool tattoo. A lot of these monsters are just so awesome to look at. Oh, one of my personal favorites. Are y'all ready? Look, another chonk. Oh, wow. I can't decide if this is so cute or so scary with that mouth. But we finally get a snow golem. I feel like I've definitely had to homebrew a snow or an ice golem at some point. So this is very cool that we finally have a snow golem. So, you can live all your terrifying, frosty, come to life encounters. So very good. Oh, yay! Posting says, I'm just wanting to play in a campaign solely in Icewind Dale. It's very cool. Thank you. It is a really, really awesome setting. I hope you all feel like you're getting a pretty good look at what's in store here for this campaign. Because there are lots of treasures, my friends. Oh, boy. Here's another one. Oh, gosh. Oh, it's the Tomb Tapper. It's got a mouth in it. What is going on here? Okay, there's no face. There's a giant mouth. This is not a cute chunk. This is in the horrifying category. What is going on, everybody? I don't know. Wow. Yeah, no kissy. Why though? These comments, these are good. I'll field these all to Chris Perkins. Why did you do this? Or Dan, why did you do this? Oh, look at that. Rows and rows of teeth. So, of course, you get statistics for these lovely nightmares also included. I know the Tomb Tappers make a very dramatic appearance later on in this book. So really, it seems like we're getting a mix of, we've gotten some aberrations in here. We've gotten, we got a new construct. We've got lots of new creature options. Oh, yes, and of course the Verbeeg. The Verbeeg come in here. So Verbeeg are very cool. They are another type of giant. And in this book, the Verbeeg are very intelligent giants that are good at rallying others and to making some trouble, or in the case of the Verbeeg Longstrider, they're sort of like natural protectors, or, verging on wardens, sort of. So those are the Verbeeg. So another type of giant that you get to play around with is introduced in this book. And of course, if you're familiar with the Drizzt novels, there was a lot of Verbeeg stomping in those books. But so, you can either do that or you can make friends with the Verbeeg. So that was, I really liked that we got the Verbeeg back in this book here. So extremely cool. Some Weasel. Oh my God, you all. Hi. I love you. So cute. I really appreciate all the new beasts, all the new beast stat blocks we're getting in here. I feel like who is not going to want a winter weasel for their familiar after this? Am I the only one in thinking that? I think every single creature, every single player is going to want one of these. Or an Arctic fox. Absolutely. So, why is the weasel art grim? I don't... Because it's this book. It's a horror campaign, gang. That salty ginger. Yes, there are some cool magic items. Let me see. I will wrap up these monster looks for you, and then we can start looking at the magic items here. Werewolf, white dragon, white... I think, did we do it? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, just one more time real quick. Oh, baby. Okay. That's it. I promise I'll stop looking at the Yeti babies. I promise, everybody, I'm a professional. Everything is fine. Okay. All right, let's look at our next section, which is going to be the magic items. So let's find the brand new items here. So there are not too many new magic items introduced in this book in particular. Oh no, these are just the same ones. Okay, let me go up. Let me go back to that sweet, sweet appendix. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to close that so I stop actually going through it. Okay, Appendix D. So we are at magic items now. So like I said, not a ton of new magic items in this book, but there are some really good ones in here, which is extremely fun. Oh yes, everybody's looking at laser pistol. Yes. Okay, so let's start with A and go down to Y. So we have the Abracadabras. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any art for this, but a wondrous item, an ornate gemstone studded wooden chest that weighs 25 pounds, 20 charges. So it looks like they can, so they can summon objects into the chest. That is very cool. So the chest could conjure a plate of strawberries, a bowl of hot soup, flagon of water, stuffed animal, bag of caltrops. Oh, very, very cool. So you have charges that you can spend to summon items. That's super cool. I get it now. Abracadabras. Interesting. I wonder where that plays into the adventure. Spiral. Ooh. Okay. Very cool. We have a Cauldron of Plenty. Wondrous item. Rare. Cauldron made of thick copper. Ooh, it's got images of satyrs and nymphs in repose holding ladles. That sounds like a very fancy cauldron. If water is poured in, it transforms into hot stew. Ooh, okay. So stew-making cauldron that we have here. Probably great in a game where everything is frozen and terrible and people are starving. Okay, Dan says that Psy Crystal is the only one that has art included. That makes sense. Hook of Fisher's Delight. Okay, so this is, let's see, a fish hook. On a floppy 6-inch long magical fish appears on the end of the hook. That's that's very fun. Okay. Tasty fish provides a worth of nourishment to one creature. All right. All right. Okay. So magical fish hook. That makes sense with all the fishing happening. Lantern of tracking. Hooded lantern. Designed to track down a certain type of creature. Ooh, very cool. So while the lantern is within 300 feet, it turns bright green. Oh, so interesting. So this is sort of a counterpoint, I feel like, to the paladin's divine sense. Because now you have a lantern that within 300 feet could finally let you know where constructs or dragons or elementals or giants are. That is extremely cool. And it's common. Ooh. All right, this one might be my favorite now. Do you all have favorites? Let me know. Let me know as we're coming up here. Professor Orb. Oh, so this is very interesting. So Professor Orb is an orb that knows a lot of things and kind of floats around and can actually help interpret things for you. I know that this plays a pretty cool role in the adventure. Psy Crystal. Ooh, that is pretty. The crystal grants you telepathy as long as you remain attuned to it. Oh, wow. Okay, so it sheds light and you get telepathy. What? That's very cool. Also purple. It's my color. That's very good. I like it. Ooh, I wonder where that comes in. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Oh, no, gang. It's a scroll of Tarask summoning. Okay. So for those of you who don't know what the Tarask is, because I'll assume some people don't, it's like the most badass creature. That's the only way to say it. Sorry, swearing. Creature in the monster manual. This thing, it's resistant to everything. It is the scariest creature. There's only one Tarask in the lore of D&D, and it is very frightening and basically can't die and is pretty much immortal. So the fact that there's a scroll of Tarask summoning hidden in this book is extremely bad. Or scary. I mean, interesting, not bad. Wow. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, it's Godzilla basically. Mr. Dino Games, you're completely right. It's Godzilla. Yes, Cal Festi, CR30. So extremely intense. Oof. Wow. Okay, so not a ton of magic items, but so far we're having some scary ones. Oh yeah, Scroll of the Comet. That also sounds bad. Hell, maybe the Scroll of the Comet though could be used to kill the Tarask. Maybe that comes up. I feel like a comet would be the only thing that could potentially stop a Tarask. Oh my god, 30d10. What is going on here? Wow. Okay, that's incredible. Okay, so that's the Scroll of the Comet. We have a thermal cube. Nice. Okay, so it's a 3-inch cube, brimstone, enough heat to keep temperature. Okay, that's great. So that sounds like those little, those warm stones you can buy at like REI to keep in your pockets when it's very cold. Now we have a magic version, which is exceptional. I think going to be extremely helpful. The Yithrin Mythalars. We're getting Mythalars. Ooh, okay. So little tiny, very short history lesson. So magic in the world of Faerun. Basically, there was a god called Mythal. She created magic. She created the weave of magic that allowed everybody to cast magic. And it was good times, and everybody was super duper powerful. But then, of course, humans bunked it up like they always do. And Mythal sort of died and kind of became reincarnated as Mistra, who is the modern god of magic in the pantheon. But wow, so Mythalars. So these are like incredible, powerful, magical artifacts that channel a lot of power and wow, extremely cool. That might be kind of a spoiler that shows up there, but so I'll turn that off. But wow, that is extremely good. Cool. Ooh, and then so we have a book section, which is interesting. I don't think we've ever seen a book section included in a D&D adventure. Extremely cool. So what we have, the Codicil of White. Ooh, look at that cover art. Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, okay. And so these books, right, so they aren't magic items, but they're story items that are really important. So they've included the books in the art there, which is cool. I really love seeing art, especially for items that you're going to hand to your players for sure. I think that's really helpful, to be able to show them these handouts as you're going along. Ooh, though this does look like an incantation. Is this a spell book? Ooh, yeah. Wow, look at this cool spell book, though. Very cool. And we have a few new spells here, which is fun. We have Blade of Disaster. Ah, I see. Okay, so that creature that we saw, this is a new spell. A 9th level conjuration. Wow, that is powerful. You create a blade-shaped planar rift about 3 feet long. You can make up to 2 melee spell attacks with the blade. Wow. Okay, cool. Force damage with the blade, ripping open time and space. Exceptionally cool. So a new 9th level spell. That's really great to see. Create Imagine, a 7th level spell. So this is actually to create those teal people that we saw before. Awesome. So this sort of seems like a cool, more intense version, I guess, of Unseen Servant. You can walk around creating magic people. Very cool. Wow. Wow. And then we have another spell, Frost Fingies. Okay, 1st level. All right, so we got 2 new, a 9th level. We have a 7th level, so pretty big deal spells. So I wonder, because, yeah, I wonder where those come into the campaign, but Frost Fingers, 1st level evocation. Okay, nice. So this is just a cool cold damage spell that is available now. Freezes non-magical liquids. Nice. Frost Fingies, everybody. Good. Doc Baka, yep, it is now called Frost Fingies. Wizards of the Coast. The Fingy spell. Good. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, just that little nice art in the back here. Well, folks, we've gone through all the appendices. So we took a look sort of at the locations that you're going to see in this book. We kind of went over the structure of Chapter 1, so those different quests that you can take, which moves into Chapter 2, which is location-based adventuring. And based on what we've seen so far with the monsters and the magic items, I really feel like Chapter 2 is going to shine, and I think be a lot of people's favorites, if I'm going to be quite honest. And then, of course, we got very, very close or general looks at some of the things you're going to encounter later in the campaign. We saw that amazing fortress. We got some hints about the Duergar happening here. We saw a big chonky dragon. We saw some caves of hunger, and apparently there's a Null Vampire covered in blood there. And of course we saw a little bit of O'Reil's palace. So there are some true delights in store for anyone who decides to run through this adventure. We just have a little bit of time here, so question. Oh, that salty ginger. Can you remind us what levels the adventure covers? So it's 1 to 10 through 13. Because you could spend a lot of time doing the things in this book, and I feel like get up a little bit higher, but 1 to 10 is like the official kind of range that you're going to be looking at for this adventure. But like I said before, it would be really easy to drop, say you had just finished, Dragon Heist Waterdeep, and you wanted to take your 5th level characters somewhere. Icewind Dale would be a great place to send them, because you do have so many great locations and a really awesome story built in. Once again, with those factions, we didn't even talk about the Arcane Brotherhood presence here, which is an amazing piece of this book. So you have wizards that are running around Icewind Dale. You do have Duergar from we've seen here. You have an Angie goddess who just wants everything to be eternal winter. So there are a lot of factors in here. I feel like this adventure has something for everyone. Let's just go ahead. Ooh, look at that title one more time. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you have enjoyed this first look. I hope you got all your little spoiler feels out. So this officially comes out tomorrow everywhere. So make sure to buy it on Roll20 so you can enjoy this virtual tabletop experience. All of the tools I've looked for. This is exactly what you're going to get, which is a huge catalog of maps preloaded in, all of the monsters you could ever want and everything. And of course, support your local game stores. Pick up a hardcover copy there too. I know I love to have both my Roll20 and my books with me because I want to read something in bed at night, but I also want something that has all the maps beautifully put in there for me. And also, as a reminder, I think the audio tool is going to be amazing for running this campaign. So definitely go check it out. This video is going to be up on YouTube tomorrow. So if someone who wasn't able to make it to this time, definitely point them towards the video. I think, they'll get a pretty good sense of what's going on here. But yes, thank you all so much. Thank you for being here. My name is Celeste Conowitch. If you want to keep up with all the stuff I'm doing, writing, follow me on Twitter at @cconowitch. And of course, make sure to follow Roll20. Make sure to like the channel, subscribe. Thank you so much for having me, everyone. And I really hope you enjoy your time in the Frozen North. I certainly had a blast writing for this book and for showing you all this little sneak peek here. Okay, well, that's all from me, everybody. Go buy this. Go buy this. And you know what? Have fun out there. Stay safe. Stay warm, everybody. Bye.